What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Leeds United Career Mode. This is episode number 79 now, and in today's episode we have two Premier League games for you, and we also have the Champions League first leg game in which we will be taking on FC Porto. It's finally here, guys. I've been waiting for this game for the majority of the past few episodes, I should say, and it's finally upon us, and we will be able to see the first leg there as we obviously take them on away from home after winning our group. If you don't know how the Champions League works, basically the group winners always play away from home for the first game, and the first leg, and then the second leg is played at home. I think that's the way it works. I'm pretty sure that is how it works in the Champions League. I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure we have to travel over to Porto to actually take them on, as we did in fact win our group, and they came second in theirs. But before we do that, we will be taking on Sunderland in the Premier League, and I'm looking forward to this because I want to try and make sure that we're picking up a result here against a team. Although credit to Sunderland, they're doing extremely well for themselves at the moment. They are sat in 4th place. They're in the top 4 for the first time that I can even remember, and it's just mental to see a team like Sunderland in the top 4. No disrespect to them, but obviously, you know, in real life they are struggling. They're in a relegation battle, and you know they shouldn't really be a top 4 team in my opinion, but you know, credit to them. Like I said, they're doing extremely well for themselves, and if they can get another result here, it shows that they have absolute class, and probably deserve to be there, because there's not many teams this season who've come to Ellen Road and come away with a result. So you have to say, if they can get something out of this game, it would be a very good result for themselves. But I'd be utterly disappointed, in my opinion, if we didn't win this. If you take a look at the two teams, we are so much better on paper. You can see our former player there, Costinha, is on the bench for Sunderland today. Michael Oliver, the referee, and I have to say again, like I said, if we don't get a result, I'll be disappointed. But it was one of those games that I was just frustrated in, because 13 minutes in, Martial, a very, very good, nicely worked, effort on goal here, as Remy gets into the position to take the strike on, and it comes back off the post, and then Barkley's header ends up in the side netting, and honestly, at that point, I knew that this game was not going to be my game. That was an incredible strike from Remy, and had it have gone in, you know, I would have been much happier. The defender there makes a mistake, allowing Suso in on goal, and Suso should do so much better with the strike. He ends up hitting it straight at the goalkeeper, and I probably should have done a lot better with it, as Pickford makes a good save there. Into the second half we went, and Remy again into Dendoncker into Semedo into Anthony Martial, who spins in the edge of the area, and a fantastic save by Jordan Pickford again at his near post. Pickford today was absolutely incredible. I also took off Anthony Martial at this point to be able to make sure that he's fit and ready for that Porto game, because my idea was I was only going to play him for a half, because unfortunately Anwar is still injured. So I brought on Emre Moore at half-time, or just after half-time at about the 50th minute, made that change to bring off Anthony Martial, even though we were in fact drawing this 0-0, and I still needed to try and score a goal in this one. But Emre Moore should do the job for us if we do get a chance, and we have a chance from the corner. Eric Bailly's header into the hands of Jordan Pickford. I was very disappointed with that one, but Dendoncker here, this is my fault. I should really have made the score 1-0 at this point. I tried a low-driven shot into that bottom corner, and Dendoncker just does not have the ability to be able to do that, and that's down to me being stupid. I should have attempted a better strike than the low-driven shot there. Emre Moore, though, 71st minute, a lovely attack from him. Squares the ball into De Siglio, and it comes back off of the post, and at that point, I'm thinking, yep, that's twice now I've hit the post, and it could not get any worse for me. And the left-back there, close to having a goal for Leeds United, as Ross Barkley takes a strike on, it's blocked again, and Pickford is happy to see it into his hands. But Sunderland could have easily got themselves the 3 points out of this one. They put a cross in here. It's not dealt with by me at all. It comes to Paddy McNair, and the strike from the Irishman is only just over the bar there. It's very, very lucky that the fact that didn't end up in the back of the net. One last chance in the game. Semedo, a fantastic tackle, though, from Patrick Van Aanholt, kept the score at 0-0. And ultimately, a draw out of this game. I am utterly disappointed. You'll see from the match facts, we absolutely dominated Sunderland throughout this game. They had one shot on goal, or 2 shots rather, one of them being on target. And it was very, very disappointed today to just be able to not get a result out of this. Well, we got a point, but, you know, I feel that that's 2 points lost rather than a point gained. And you have to say as well, if we don't hit the post twice in this one and both of those go in, it's a much different game. We absolutely dominated them there, deserved the 3 points, but have only come ultimately away with 1. So again, very, very frustrating game, very disappointed, and I have to say again, we are struggling in terms of league performances. I shouldn't say struggling, because we're not, you know, obviously struggling to the point where we're not doing well. We're still getting results even when we're playing badly, and in that game there we played well and didn't unfortunately get the result that I was hoping for. But in terms of the, you know, how far we were ahead, we were actually further ahead, and United is slowly crawling it back. I don't think they'll be able to get enough points back before we hit the end of the season. I'm pretty sure that the title should be ours. But our league performances are going to suffer, guys, because obviously we've got the Champions League now to come into contention with. If we get through Porto here, we'll have a number of more games in midweek, and obviously we do have a game coming up against Manchester United, possibly next month in the calendar. If that's the case, and we do in fact beat Porto here, the next round of the Champions League could fall within those within that game against Manchester United. We take on United and then City a week later. So if it falls in between there, I'll be utterly disappointed. We have to obviously get through Porto first, but there should be a victory for us. On paper, we are the better side, and on paper, you know, the bookies would actually mark us as the favourites for this one as we went into the first leg here. Looking forward to it, like I said, but if we do get past them, if it's in that period where we're playing Manchester United and Manchester City, there could be some serious thought going into this, because obviously I'll have to play my best team in the Champions League, meaning that I may suffer in terms of Premier League performances, and I may have to try and play out a draw against United in that one. So I have to wait and see what happens, but that's a long way in the future. Obviously, we still have to look at now. And right now, we have the first leg of the Champions League. You can see there, United actually beat Real Madrid 3-1 in the first leg. That's incredible. Already an English team off to the perfect start, and that is why they're sat second in the Premier League. So we have to follow suit here. We have to get a result against Porto, otherwise we'll look extremely weak in terms of that one. If United are beating Real Madrid by 3-1, and they're sat second in the Premier League, we should be able to comfortably beat Porto here, you know, in terms of that one. But take no disrespect from them. They have a very good team, and they have a very, very solid defensive backline. But I just feel as though at some point during the game we should get a few chances. But it was actually Porto with the first chance in this first leg fixture here. 11 minutes in, a great effort on goal. I actually put Lou in the side today, but a fantastic save from our goalkeeper, and he held on to it as well, which is even more important. Eriksen here tried to do a low-driven shot. I have no words for what I even did there. It was very, very bad by me in terms of that one. Yeah, the less said about it, the better. I tried to do a low-driven shot. If you get them wrong, they just look absolutely horrendous. And again, from the goal kick, though, we have another chance here. Emre Moore into the box. He goes, gives it off to Eriksen. I tried to get a strike away, but I was forced a bit too wide. I tried to give it back to Emre Moore. For some reason, though, Eriksen decided he wanted to go to Martial. I have no idea why. Comes back in, though, here, and Eriksen's going to pick up a strike on the edge of the area. It goes over the bar, though, unfortunately, for the second time in the game. Eriksen sends a strike over the bar. So 75th minute of the game now. Nothing really happened in the build up to this point, but Emre Moore steals the ball back for us, sends Pereira down this right hand side. The former Porto man goes down the right hand side, gives it inside to Christian Eriksen, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper at this point, and this time I get the low-driven shot correct, and we make it 1-0 here to Leeds United away from home. It's even more vitally important as well. We've got the away goal now. That's what I was aiming to have. We need the away goal, and we've managed to find it here. And ultimately, if we go into the second leg here with a 1-0 victory at home, we should be able to close this fixture out. We should get the victory over the two legs and hopefully move on to the next round. Of course, though, this is only leg one, meaning even if we win this game here, we still have a lot of work to do in leg two, because they can come over to Ellen Road and play without any fear at all. Here, though, we are taking them on at their ground, and to get the early goal, to get the first leg away goal is what I meant to say. I was very, very happy with it. It actually came at the hands of Christian Eriksen, who, you know, on the day could have done a lot better, but he actually ultimately got the goal, and that's all that matters. So you can see there, a 1-0 victory away to Porto. The former Porto man, Pereira, with the assist into Eriksen. Eriksen finished the move off, and it meant that we now go in to the Ellen Road fixture, leading in the first leg. Going into the second leg, we also have the away goal advantage. So provided that we don't concede there, or to be honest though, the away goal, only scoring one, has kind of hurt us, because it means that now we can't really concede. Because if we concede there to Porto, it means that we have to win the game, or rather, it means that we have to at least draw whatever result that is. If we lose 1-0, it takes it to extra time because of the away goal, of course. If we lose 2-1, we go out on away goal. So it's a bit of a annoyance there, the fact that we've only got one away goal. So it means that we just have to not concede, basically, and hopefully play out a 0-0 draw, or we have to get a 1-1 draw, or, you know, just we have to draw the game, effectively. That's all we've got to do in terms to go through. We then had Crystal Palace here in the FA Cup. As always, I sim these games. It's the fifth round. Green misses a penalty there as Zaha put the Palace side 1-0 up, and we ultimately then was sent out of the FA Cup. So just as we got the first leg victory, we then was knocked out of the FA Cup. Not too disappointed with it, as I've said numerous times so far. We've won it, of course. It doesn't matter now to me, and I'm just not bothered about it, in all honesty. So ultimately, I ain't fussed the fact we've gone out of the FA Cup, but you can see here, we've got a game against Arsenal coming up now in the third and final game of the episode, another Premier League game. Anwar starts the game here up top for us, back in the side today since his injury, and of course, he's had a very, very good few seasons here at Leeds. He's scored a very crazy amount of Premier League goals, and in a very short amount of games in terms of that one, but ultimately, I want to try and get him back in the team. I want to get him scoring because, of course, he was the top goal scorer before he went out on injury. Now it's Anthony Martial, who is the top goal scorer in the Premier League. So to have two players in the top scorers list, in the top 5, is absolutely incredible. And that's hallmark to the great side that we've got here at Leeds. We have so many goals in the side. You can see there, 24 Premier League games, 18 wins, with only the single defeat coming at the hands of Chelsea when we unfortunately lost by 2-0. Leno still dropped out of the team since then. As you can see there, Anthony Martial with 14 Premier League goals, the player to watch here. We got him for free, of course, from United, but he has been an absolute brilliant star for, as you can see, the Arsenal team Donnarumma, the former Leeds United goalkeeper, in net for them. Bellerin almost signed here for this Ellen Road team, but we actually said no in the end and went for Pereira instead. So it could have been a very, very different career for Bellerin. He could have been playing Champions League football and have a Premier League title at his disposal, but he's yet to have one with this Arsenal side, unless, of course, they won it in the first season, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. I don't believe that they had won it in the first season, of course, when we were playing Championship football, but I could be wrong. You can see, though, the two teams getting ready for this one, and, of course, again, it was always going to be tough travelling over to the Emirates to take on Arsenal. They obviously held us to a 0-0 draw in the opening, the first game of this season, when the first fixture between us two at Ellen Road. But Barkley got us off here to the perfect start inside 13 minutes. It's a very poor mistake by Elani. Is it El Neni or Elani? I don't know. I should know. I'm an Arsenal fan and I can't even say his name right. But it was a mistake by the central midfielder, gave us the ball, and it fell into the path of Ross Barkley, who just sprinted away from the centre-back. And when you've got one of them with Gigiulani, Donnarumma, it could have gone either way, this one. However, Ross Barkley kept his nerve in front of goal and made sure that the score was 1-0 to the Leeds United side here, 31 minutes on the clock. We then made it we had another chance, in the 36th minute. Pereira gives the ball down to the right-hand side here to Joel Green. Joel Green cuts inside of his man, gives it to Anthony Martial. Martial spins on the edge of the area. Hector Bellerin misses the tackle. And you simply cannot give Anthony Martial that quality, or a player of his quality, rather, that sort of time and space in the box, because he'll do this to you. And that's just tremendous from Anthony Martial, especially the low-driven shot at the end of it. To beat a goalkeeper of Donnarumma's quality, you has to be brilliant, and it was absolutely phenomenal from Martial. So it gives us a 2-0 lead here inside 40 minutes, and honestly, Arsenal was stunned at this point. But they had a chance on the stroke of half-time to get themselves back in this game, as it fell to Sanchez here on the left-hand side. Sanchez then cuts inside, puts a cross in, comes to the man in the middle, who's actually a man I don't recognise by the name of that one, but he sent his effort over the bar. And into the 84th minute we went. Joel Campbell now. I was a bit stretched at the back. I don't quite know what happened, but Sanchez there should be doing so much better with the header. Puts it over the bar, and that was all the game had in store. So a 2-0 victory here against a very tough Arsenal team. You can see by the match fact it was a very even game, but ultimately we came out on top, and thankful to Martial and, of course, Ross Barkley for the goals on the day. Donnarumma, unfortunately, was unable to keep us out for Arsenal, but, he could have been a Leeds United player. He could have still been here had we have not signed Leno, of course. And now we've got Lou as well. Lou is just incredible, and he could actually replace Leno in terms of that one. But we are coming towards the end of this episode. If you have enjoyed, smash that like button. And as always, I have been Danny, and I'm out. Adios.